All right. So, good morning, everyone. We have a special treat for you today. My uh, nefarious, infamous collaborator, Jason Connerly, is going to help me with bringing you some gaming content. What we're going to do is we're going to do life path character creation for the new Twilight 2000 4th edition that has come out by Free League Publishing. So previously, there are two ways you can create characters in Twilight 2000. You can do a character creation through the archetype method, which is choosing a number of sort of pre-planned careers for characters. There's like 11 or 12 careers that you can choose, and you sort of fill in the blanks and make a few choices here and there. But more interesting is the life path creation, where you start off at 18 years old and go through your life and character generation, much like you would do in Traveler or the Modifius 2D20 life path systems, and have a more customizable character creation experience that becomes a game within a game. So we're going to get started, and let's see. So the first thing you do, it says to have a piece of paper ready, but I'll take notes as well, Jason, and we can compare if that's cool.
Okay.
So we're going to start with we're on page, we're in the PDF version of the book so far, and I'll just read the blurb. The life path method lets you create your character by developing their backstory in detail. This is done over a number of career terms, each as D6 years long. So it's a random number of years that each term is, each one giving you skills and specialties. Just like real life, your life path will be a mix of choice and chance, generating a complex character that just may surprise you and turn out differently from what you expected. So we're going to start with a fresh, inexperienced young person, 18 years old. And they already give you a stat off the bat, which is the coolness under fire. And your coolness under fire, which makes sense, is going to start at D, which is the worst, which is a D6, or on the die roll. All right, so your first choice there, Jason, is to choose your nationality.
Okay. Well, let's just go with American. Most characters in this game are Americans. And my Polish accent's not so good, so let's go with that.
Yeah. All right, and then so that's already step 2, guys. So step 3 is determine your attributes, and you start with a baseline of C. And all of your attributes, there are, just to let you know, there are 4 attributes: strength, agility, intelligence, and empathy. So we start with a C, which is a D8 in this game on all 4 attributes. And then we get our first randomness now, and you roll 2 D3 to determine how many increases you get.
Okay, so 2D3.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got a 3 and a 2.
A 5. Wow. Your character might be pretty hoss there, Jason. All right, so you can increase. Oh, you could also, so you roll this 2D3, and now you can increase any attributes you want out of the 4. And the highest is A, so each step costs 1 point. A is going to be a D12. And just to remind everyone that in year 0, 6 or better is a success. So the more competent you get, the better chance of success you will have.
Right, and you said it's 6 to. Oh, that's right. Yeah, 6 succeed.
Strength, agility, intelligence, and empathy. And there are skills that are linked to each of these that are pretty intuitive. I think it's actually, they do it pretty simply, which I like in this game. I know we play many games, right, Jason, where there's like a gajillion skills. And here there's basically 3 skills under each attribute. So a total of 12 skills.
Yeah, the question is, do I want to spend points here, or should I spend them elsewhere?
Well, I think you get to roll a D6s here and there. I think this first step is just focus on attributes. So
gotcha.
These 5 points. These 5 points are just for attributes right now. It looks like.
Right, and how many points does it take to, let's say,
1
increase?
point per step. 1 point per step.
1 point per step.
Yeah. So it'd be like, so if you want to go from C to A, that's 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 is pretty good. You can
5 is pretty good.
by 1, right?
everything by increase everything by 1, and then one additional one by 2, or by 1 more. So I can make everything a B and then make one an A. Right?
Yeah, which is actually I think that's a good decision. So you like your, and then you can think of, and of course they don't give you any details on how this happens. So you can, as a player, you can think in your head already your backstory and how you got to be, either really smart or very empathetic or really strong or super quick, right? So.
Right. And if we're going to metagame this, and I have not read through these rules, but in most games, either agility or intelligence is where we'd want to put this extra point. Right. Agility tends to be
to help you out. I'll tell you what skills are under which attributes.
Okay,
I think
sounds
that's
good.
Also helpful for our listeners. So under strength are heavy weapons, close combat, and stamina. Under agility, driving, mobility, and range combat. Under intelligence, recon, survival, and tech. And under empathy, it's command, persuasion, and medical aid.
Ooh, empathy is pretty good too in this game.
I think they split out things pretty well depending on what type of character you want to be, right? So, like if you want to be well, you don't know because it's going to be random how your life path turns out. But if you style yourself as a leader type, empathy, right, or even a position, empathy. If you want to be like a machine gunner, heavy weapons, right? So, or strength for heavy weapons.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the gamey thing and put it in agility.
Agility.
Right. Yeah. So we'll have everything will be a B, but agility will be an A.
Yeah. I think that's still really good though. So you're going to have like a D10 in strength, intelligence, and empathy, and a D12 in agility. And these might actually, I haven't, honestly, this is like,
these could change as we go.
This could change, right? It could change. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So we'll note that we got a D10. And that's really good because, so like I mentioned before, or if you've seen any other information on Twilight 2000 4th edition, if you roll a 10 or better on a roll, it counts as 2 successes. So, you're ready. So basically, you have a 25% chance if you have an agility of A of getting 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So that was step 3. So
Great.
I think we're off to a good start. Jason, you say you have unluck on the die rolls. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I got lucky this time. We'll see how it goes. Roll D6 on. No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go.
Oh, so step 4, folks, is roll D6 on the table on the next page to determine what your childhood was like. If the referee allows it, you may choose instead of roll, but Carl's mean, so I have to roll.
Okay.
So let's roll the D6. So it says. Let's see. That is a 2. Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's not a 2. Yeah, it is 2, actually. Sorry. Yep. I'm using D12s for D6s and D3s. Yeah. But I rolled a 7, so that's 2. So we've got 2. Choose one skill from level D. Oh, well, we need to look at the table. So
the table's on the next
table
page.
On the next page. On page.
So it looks like 2 is you're from a small town.
Yep. And now I need to roll another D6 to see what. Or wait, do I pick? Let's just go back.
It's basically
choose one skill.
One skill, level D.
And then roll D6 for a specialty.
Right. So you have driving, range combat, and survival.
Right.
So you could have been like a kid who drove or had to worked on a farm or delivered pizza. Range combat, you could be like a family of hunters and shooters, or survival, out in the woods and around. So pretty interesting. So you could choose one of those to be at a D6, which is basic skill.
Right. So the question is, so I'm thinking either driving or ranged combat here. If we do ranged combat, that would take care of that for the party. But let's do driving, and then we'll roll for our specialty.
Okay. So driving at D6?
Yep. Oh, and I rolled a 6, so that's not going to match up. That's okay. Quartermaster.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's okay. So.
Yeah, quartermaster seems like it's more like survival, right? It would be survival based, but hey, that's all right. Hey, maybe you were like a driver for some company that hauled supplies. You
Well,
worked for
yeah,
Off-
yeah, definitely. That's
you
let's
worked
see.
for
So
Office Max.
that's right. Yeah, UPS driver or something, right?
Yeah.
So that specialty, but we're just going to mark that as a specialty for now, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just wrote it down as quartermaster, driving D6 quartermaster from a small town.
Okay.
Right. Which is neat. So definitely I'm going to make a little comment here about the content that's out there for Twilight 2000. So they actually have a document or an appendix in the referee's guide on how to convert everything from the past incarnations of Twilight 2000 to the new edition. So there's some super cool adventures. Like I was flipping through, for example, one I'd love to run is called the Red Star Lone Star that takes place in South Texas. And I mean, hey, I live in South Texas. It'd be great to run that, and it. But there's a whole idea where although you're stuck in Europe in the Third World War on the front, a lot of people want to get home to see what the hell happened in the U.S. Because it kind of fell apart in a way, or the U.S. as we know it kind of fell apart. So that's one of the themes in the Twilight 2000 is going home, and there's several adventures that are around that. So it's kind of neat that you can generate like your background, I think, and where the characters or the players could figure out where they're from and let the GM know that that's what they want to get back to and see what the hell happened. So it makes it more of a player driven, story ultimately.
Right.
And there's actually in the character creation, I think later on you have to you kind of choose your moral code and what your long term goals are and things like that too. Much like a lot of games where they want the GM and the player to come up with a narrative to drive the story, as opposed to just a series of linear adventures, right? Okay, so now we're on step 5 now.
Right. We need to get our first career.
Yeah. And it says military or civilian among the options listed. So you have military service on page. It looks like on the next page.
The next page, yeah.
And then civilian. There's quite a bit of civilian.
Yeah. Where's that start?
That starts on page 36.
Oh, there it is. Yep, I see it. Okay. You know what? I think we're going to do one civil. How quickly does it or is this like, do you roll at the end of each career to see if you?
Yeah, at the end of each career.
Well, hopefully we'll get 2 careers.
You're going to see. Yeah, at the end of each career, I think like further down. At the end of each career, you're going to check if the war started or not.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do one civilian career, and then we'll put him over in the military.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll. If he gets stuck in the States, then I guess we'll.
Well, somehow he's ended up in Europe. But...
Right. That's cool.
Or I don't know. Actually, right. If we did the life path character creation, then and everyone ended up having for example, a civilian career, or the majority were civilian career. It might make more sense to be in the States when anarchy happens, right?
Right.
I mean,
maybe this character gets put
right?
off. Right. This character might get put off for a different game. Who knows? A different session. Okay. So is there a randomness, or I need to pick a civilian career, don't I?
I believe it says choose your career for the first term.
Okay. So what we're going to do?
Make sure you meet the requirement for this entry.
Okay. So we're going to.
That's probably based on your attributes, right?
Right.
But
so we are going to.
You have B in everything, so I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think he'll qualify for everything.
Like even like SWAT team, look at that, strength and agility B+.
Well, I think you have to
be a police officer first.
Yeah, you have to have a career as a police officer first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there are a lot of choices. So while you decide, so they have a police, crime, intelligence, blue collar, education, white collar. So and then there's at least 3. Sometimes it looks like 4 choices. They're not under education. There's 2 choices, either liberal arts or sciences. So you could have gone to college in your first term, also, right?
Right, and so we probably should mention to folks that the advantage of doing education is to be an officer, you have to have a at least one term of education.
Yeah.
So if I do a civilian term as my first career is education, then I can go in the military as an officer.
Right.
And an officer gets both officer things, and they also pick basically a career of combat arms, combat support, or combat service support in addition.
Like.
Yeah.
So if you're a meta,
right.
Yeah, but it could all go to hell. Your plan could go to hell if the war starts, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. No question about it. So I would think either, honestly, since he's into driving and doing stuff, he's probably either going to do. So they have a driver career in here.
Yeah, actually. The blue collar driver. Yeah.
Yeah. So he could do that. But I think we're going to meta it and do education. Although you know what? No, we're going to stick with. Wow, he's got quartermaster though, so he might have. Well, just because he knows stocking at the local auto parts store doesn't mean that he's So let's do driver for our first one. Let's build on our strengths.
Okay. So requirements are agility B, and the skill you get is tech.
Okay, so his next skill is check.
And I believe that starts at a D6 as well. Okay.
I'll let you figure that out.
So it says in part 6, it says increase 2 skills, 1 step each, or 1 skill, 2 steps, choosing among the skills listed for your career this term, or generally available skills, which are stamina, mobility, and driving. If you choose a skill you didn't have, it starts as D.
Okay.
The only stipulation is if you start military, then one has to be ranged combat, no matter what.
Right. So, actually, the only skills he has right now are driving, right? Driving quartermaster. There's quartermaster. That's a specialty.
Well, he's going to have tech. He's going to have tech.
Well, he's got tech now. Yeah, so he just has driving and tech now.
Yeah.
So so how do skills work in this game? Do you do dice pools? Is that what you're doing?
Well, it's a dice pool of 2. So it's going to be your attribute plus your skill.
Plus your skill. Yeah.
Right.
So there's a good argument here and you said agility has driving, range combat, or I couldn't choose those. You said it was just the.
Well, you can't choose that. No, you can't unless it's under your career. You're right.
Right.
So you can choose from. Right. You can choose from tech or driving right now, or stamina, mobility, and driving.
Right.
Those are generally available.
Let's do it. Work to our strength here. Right now, he's driving a 6. So if I pump both points into driving, that'll pump it up to a 10.
Yeah.
Does D8s too? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do 2 points into driving. Actually, I probably should do driving and tech both.
Yeah. So driving to D8.
And tech to D8. And my agility is already a D12. That would probably be smarter.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We'll do a point in driving and a point in tech, because tech, I assume, I know there's a separate mechanic, but tech kind of works towards that, right? Or I'm making a guess here, but
tech is mechanic and all that type of stuff.
So if he's kind of a, driver, good at driving, good at working on things. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. He's going to be the mechanic. So I'll make both those will be D8. And then do I still roll for a specialty?
Yeah. Roll a D6 to see what specialty you learn. If you roll one you already have, you can choose.
Okay. So let's roll and see what we get. Ooh, I rolled a 4, which is a pilot. That's interesting. Okay. Do they break pilot down into separate?
Well, pilot's a specialty, so I will.
Yeah. Well, what's a?
I think it might be
maybe somebody taught him how to fly a crop duster. Although I don't know if they break down like helicopters and planes and how realistic
No,
they are in this game.
so driving is just every single type of driving you can think of, right?
Right.
So pilot is a specialty under driving, which gives you a +1 modifier to flying fixed and rotary wing aircraft.
Okay. Well, maybe he got in with like say local crop dusters or something like that.
So
that's cool. Okay.
All right. So tech starts at a D6. You increase that. Okay, got that. And there's another roll I think you have to make, which is you have to roll for promotion. So you make an unmodified skill roll for one of your skills that you increased in step 6. So it'd be against a D8. And you cannot push the roll. If you succeed, you get a promotion.
Okay. Let's do it for driving.
Mm-hmm.
So am I rolling? I'm rolling a D8 and I'm trying to get 6 or higher here.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. So let's see what we got. I rolled a 3, so it does not get promoted.
All right. Do not get promoted. Okay. All right. Okay. So now you, okay. So that the next thing doesn't apply. If you get a promotion in your military career, you increase your military rank. If you see a promotion in military intelligence career, you increase your combat under fire. But that didn't happen. So now roll to see how long your character was in this career.
Okay. What am I rolling?
A D6.
Okay.
So we're on step 7 now.
Rolled a 2. I don't see the chart for that. So you just roll, have to go back to.
You're 20 years old now.
2.
So you're 20 years old.
Okay. And now we go to our next career. Or do we need to roll to see the war starts?
Then you roll a D8.
Mm-hmm.
You roll a D8, and if the result is lower than the number of terms you completed, you reduce an attribute. So there's aging effects. Well, so basically, on your first term, this can't happen, right? Because you have to roll lower than a 1, which is not going to happen.
Yeah, so don't bother rolling that. Okay.
So then roll a D8. If the result is lower than the number of terms you've completed, then war breaks out. If not, go back to 5 and choose another career.
Okay. I rolled 4, so war does not break out yet.
Right.
So let's go.
So you go back to choose another career, military or civilian, or continue in your current career. So for 2 years, you kind of did this sort of driving thing for 2 years.
Right, and he learned about
20 years old.
But he was lucky enough to learn to fly planes while he's doing that.
Right.
So I think at this point, it might make sense to go into the military.
Okay.
And I think probably he would go in as, let's see. Look at this. Combat support as recon survival tech. None of these really map to like a pilot, but let's it looks like the combat service support's going to map more towards repair stuff.
Yeah, here's something that I might suggest, right? So we're both in the military, so it's very rare for a pilot to not be an officer. So maybe he goes into college next.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's he may not be a pilot in the military. He might go and be a mechanic.
True.
You know.
Yeah. Combat service support.
Yeah, I mean, in the Army, the mechanics probably be combat service support. I would assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like mechanic, gunsmith, electrician, computers, combat medic, field surgeon are specialties.
Right.
No requirement.
Yeah, you definitely get in there. That wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, there's something to be said for doing the education thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. If we, you know what though, he could do a career as a mechanic. I want to guarantee those skills because that's a blue collar career.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's do second career as mechanic.
Okay.
So second career also be blue collar.
Yeah. So it's tech again, so you don't get another skill at D6.
Right. Yeah, so that's the negative of doing this.
Yeah.
Is he's not going to get an additional skill. So that's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So that may not be worth it. Where if he picked education, he would get, well, if he picked sciences, he wouldn't.
Went to liberal arts, right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? He's going to actually do his second career as a police officer.
Oh, wow. It's close combat and ranged combat.
Right. Yeah, so that'll give him close combat, range combat D6. Does he get anything else there initially? Where the other one, he got like 2 points to. Does that happen each time or just the first career? Where he had points he could put towards skills.
I think you increase 2 skills. Actually, I'm looking. I don't think you get these opened at D6.
Oh, okay. They open it. So your skills start at.
I think you can just increase those skills. Let me read this again. Increase 2 skills, 1 step each, or 1 skill, 2 steps. Choose from among the skills listed in your career this term, or generally available. If you don't have it, starts at D, and you can never go above A.
Okay, so
I think the only time you get a free skill is the first one.
Okay, so I can pick these 2 as
yes.
Gotcha.
Right. So your tech is actually a D6, while your driving is a D8 right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Although with the military careers, you don't get automatic skills.
One has.
There's not like a basic. There's not like a basic training where you get a bunch of stuff. Okay.
No.
Okay. So tech is D6. It's fine. So we'll do that, and we'll pump 1 point into each of these to make them each D6. Okay. Close combat, range combat.
Got it.
And then we'll roll for the specialty. And I rolled a 4.
Infiltrator.
No. Where are you getting that?
Oh, sorry. That's childhood.
It's a racer.
That's funny.
Under police officer, it has racer.
Huh. Racer.
Does it elaborate on that somewhere?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. I'll look it up. Okay. It sounds like it has to do with driving.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, the next one was biker, but I went with racers.
+1 modifier to all driving, all wheeled vehicles, except motorcycles, which would be biker.
Right, which is fine.
Yeah. So that gives you a plus. So the +1 modifier means that you actually step up your dice.
Okay.
Right. So now driving airplane or planes and car and wheeled vehicles, your driving is actually effectively a D10.
Right. So that's cool. Which works kind of towards what we were trying to do with this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that works out pretty good. So next step is to roll to see if
you age and to see
age.
Well, the promotion.
Okay, the promotion. So I just need to pick a skill.
Yeah, pick a skill. Okay. Driving is your best bet.
Yeah, drive. We'll go with driving.
Okay. Yeah, you do the promotion before you age. Yeah.
Okay. So I rolled a 6, so I didn't get promoted.
No, you rolled a 6, right?
Yeah.
So you did get promoted.
Succeeds. Okay, that's right. Yeah. So he does get a promotion in driving. So now it's a D10.
No, so he gets a promotion in the police force. So he's a sergeant now.
I don't know. Does it say somewhere? Is there a separate chart somewhere in the book?
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'll look around.
Okay, we can.
I mean, it seems like you go from patrolman to sergeant. Honestly. and then detective. Well, detective is a separate. They'll say sergeant.
detective. Okay.
At least in all the cop. I don't know. You would know police hierarchy better than I would. So at least in all
Yeah,
the
but that
cop
doesn't necessarily
shows,
mean the game goes that way, though. That's the
well, if it doesn't say so, then I'm going to say it mirrors real life.
yeah, that's fine.
The
Yeah,
only
I don't think it's going to matter, to be honest,
yeah.
unless we stayed in the side. You know, if he's going to go in the military, it's not really. Anyway, we'll note he got a promotion.
Yeah.
We can come back to that later if we need to. We need to see aging, right?
Yeah.
So that was a D6?
D6. So you don't want to. So this is 2 terms. So you don't want to be lower than a 2.
Oh, and you rolled a 2.
Lower than the number of terms. So
Okay.
it's not lower. You don't lose anything.
Okay, that's good.
And then you roll a D8.
Right, to see if the war
basically
starts.
right now you don't want to roll a 1.
Okay, I rolled an 8.
Okay,
so it does war does not
break
start.
out. Okay,
right.
So we go back now to.
So the question is, do we make him a police?
We got our age. You have to see how many years you age.
Oh, how many years is it? And what was that?
D6.
D6. Oh, okay. That is a 4. So now he's 24.
No, he's 24 years old.
Yep. Okay. So for the third career, well, the question is, do we want to? Well, we could put him over there because even if I do another career as police officer and the war starts, we have there are programs where like cops will get hired as contractors to go overseas to train other countries' police forces and stuff.
Yep.
So we could always say that something like that. You know what I mean? So we can always explain.
Right.
Yeah, we could always explain why he's there. So I guess if he's going to keep going as a third career as a police officer, we probably do need to figure out what the promotion mat does. Which we can always pause the recording, but
right.
I'll cut it out. But we probably do need to figure the promotion out.
If he gets promoted again,
is there a? Probably not going to matter a whole lot, to be honest.
Yeah, let's not worry about it now. We can fill that stuff in. If he continues to get promoted, then we'll find out. We'll note how many promotions have happened and what that would entail. Right. I mean, it would make sense. So even at 24 years old, if he's promoted to a sergeant in a small town.
Yeah. Or corporal. Okay, folks. So we determined we're not. It might be. Some police forces do.
We'll figure it out.
We can just go. Yeah. So, folks, we decided we're not going to worry about the promotion at this point because it's probably not going to matter. But we are going to have him upgrade, and I think what we'll do is have him upgrade to.
You could either go detective or SWAT. It looks like.
Right. Wonder if that makes a whole lot of sense for him to do that, though. Go SWAT. Because again, what do we want to do with this guy? We want him to be right now he's a driver, essentially, right?
Yeah, he's got a driver with some competency in ranged and close combat.
Yeah, which is good. So actually, maybe at this point we will put him in the military and we'll put him in as maybe combat. Well, if we put him as combat service support, we could give him medical, which might not hurt. Or we could put him in as so you can't pick mechanic in here, unfortunately. But the way I'm understanding the skills now, he could use those points to increase his tech if we put him in something that had tech as an option.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And you can if your first term of military service, you can increase a skill, and you have to increase one of those skills is increased has to be ranged combat, no matter what military you go into.
Okay. Yeah. So
you basically could choose the skills that you have. No, it does not even the skills you have open. It just basically the ones in your the ones in your career, stamina, mobility, driving, and range combat would be what you could open, what you could increase.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go in. He'll go in the military as combat service support at this point.
Okay. There's no requirements.
Yep. And so the skills are.
So he's 24 years old. He signs up for the military.
Yep.
You start as a PFC.
Mm-hmm.
And your medical aid and tech are what you can put points in.
Right.
So far you have driving D8, tech D6, range combat D6, close combat D6.
Right.
And one of these you have to put into range combat.
Okay. So obviously we're going to do range combat, which will now be a D8.
Okay.
And then for the other one,
your tech is D6.
Yeah, so he'll put into tech, which will be
make that
now D8. Yeah. So he's kind of narrow in what he can do here, but
yeah, I mean it seems even based on the archetype characters, it seems to be the case.
Okay. Okay, so
it's very rare that you're going to have like an old grizzled veteran, you know.
Right.
That's what it seems.
So the next thing we do is the specialty, I guess.
Yes, we do the specialty.
Okay.
The D6.
Okay. Ooh, he rolled a 1 for mechanic, which is cool. That's kind of what I was hoping to get. So that works out. If we got medic, I was gonna be sad because I didn't up the medical skill. Okay.
Yep.
So we got mechanic, which we'll figure out all the specifics of that later, but that sounds like that'll work out good for what we're kind of going towards.
Yep.
And then, but now we need to roll to see if his attributes have gone down, right?
Right. So one of his attributes will go down on a 2 or lower this time. This is his third turn.
Okay. And there's a 2 or lower and a D6.
No, on is it a D6?
I think, or well, you tell me. You should hopefully have all the charts.
Yep. Oh no! First, you got to roll the promotion.
Oh, okay. What die is that?
That's whatever dice you choose.
Oh, whatever skill I choose, right?
Yeah, whatever skill.
Okay. Well, his highest skill.
He has got 3D. Just roll a D8 because if it's a 6.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. Yeah. Nope, 3. Does not get promoted.
All right, so he's still a PFC.
Right.
Now you roll how old you aged.
Okay. And that's a D6?
That's a D6.
Okay, so on this he rolled a 3.
All right, so you're 27. Now.
Oh, I thought we rolled the Oh, that's fine. So where do we roll to see if he takes?
Now you roll a D8, and now it's a lower. Now you have to roll. If you roll a 2 or lower, then you have to choose to reduce an attribute by 1 step.
Okay. We rolled a 4.
So you're good.
It was good there.
And then you roll a D8, and if you roll a 2 or lower, since this is your third term, you do the at-war career.
Okay, now it's a 4, so it does not.
Okay, all right. So you got another term in the military.
And basically, we keep going until the war starts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
So if you want it, so we can either keep going here or just say the war starts, just to see what happens with that.
Well, why don't we keep going and see what happens with him?
Yeah, let's do it all random.
Yeah. So at this point, once he goes in the military, he pretty much stays there. Is that what we're doing? You get 2 skills, 1 must be ranged, and it just keeps going like we're doing.
Yeah, I guess you could change. Right? I mean, if you went to combat arms, you'd have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, he qualifies for it, so.
Yeah, you could go into combat arms. You could stay in service support.
Yeah, let's switch to combat arms.
Okay.
Or actually, let's
You qualify for combat support too.
Yeah.
which has
Let's stay here. And what's medical? Medical's empathy, you said, or intelligence? What doesn't matter. Let's
medical is empathy.
Okay. Let's stay combat service support, and we'll do
Okay.
Switch over to medic.
Okay. So then you can choose medical aid or tech. So if you open one with medical aid,
right, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so medical aid would be
I don't think I
D6
think only in your first term is in the military do you have to. Yeah, in your first term of the military, you have to increase range combat. So you don't have to put in range combat anymore.
Right. So now he'll take medical aid. It'll be a D6.
Yeah.
Because he'll put both points in medical aid.
So it's going to be a D8 now, bet in medical?
Well, it'd be D6, right? Because he didn't start with any points in it. Is that one to open it?
Put 1 point, it becomes a D6. If you put another point, it's a D8.
Okay. D8. Okay. So, yeah. So medical aid will be a D8.
Okay.
And then we need to roll for specialty again, right?
Yep.
Okay. This time's a 5.
Combat medic.
Yeah, that works out well. Okay, great. So he's the driver and the medic for the team.
I could be driving a medical vehicle, right?
Yeah, and maybe that's what he's doing now. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so but now we need to do these other roles, and he's getting
promotion.
He's getting old, so D8 still his highest thing.
And I think you get a +1 since your second career.
Okay, well I rolled a 4, so it's a 5. So unfortunately, it's not getting promoted.
Yep.
And now we need to roll to see if he gets
how old he is.
Okay, how old is next? And that's a D6.
D6, yeah.
Okay. Oh, let's see. That's a 4. Wow, he's 28 now.
No, he's 27 now.
He's 27 now. Yeah, that's right. So
31.
31. He's getting old.
Yep. Still a PFC too.
Yeah, pretty pitiful. And he obviously is ticking people off.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And now you roll to see if you. So this is your fourth career. So a 3 or lower will affect your attributes.
Okay, and that's on D8.
Yeah, and a 3 or lower will see if you want to go to war.
Oh, rolled a 1, so it is going to affect his attributes.
Yeah, so you can. It says you can choose.
Okay. So we got to pick one of these to lower.
Yeah.
Strength obviously is a bad thing to lower, but I think that's what we probably want to lower here. Well, you know what? I'm not doing anything with intelligence. So let's lower.
Are you sure you're not doing anything with intelligence?
What am I doing with intelligence? Oh, tech maybe, huh?
Yeah, tech. Strength might be the best one, honestly, because you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you have close combat at D6. You're not a close combatant.
Right. Yeah, so we'll lower his strength to C. Yeah. Does it give the option to voluntarily change, or you just keep going until war starts? So he might be really pitiful by the time war starts.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, right?
That's kind of
old. You'd be old and skilled, but
yeah, but pretty wimpy. Okay, well let's see if war starts now. I think that's our next roll, right? Or do we? No, right. Because we rolled no promotion. So yep. Oh, I rolled an 8, so it does not start.
Yep.
So now we need to keep going.
Yeah.
But at this point, does it?
See, but I mean, I think it's interesting when the war starts, you will have been in the military for a while, or older and in the military for a while, which is, I guess, what can happen.
Yeah. Do you have the option to get out of the military?
Yeah, because you've been in the military for
7 years now, I think. Right?
Yeah, since you were 24. So yeah, so 7 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. And you could choose. It says you can choose a career, so you can get out if you want.
Well, see, I'm wondering if he should get out and maybe stay over effectively as a contractor, so he's over there. Or maybe, I mean, war isn't broken out yet, and in theory, you're starting in Poland, so he could get out and just live over there in the economy, right? So, maybe that's what he's going to do. He's going to get out and just live over in Poland.
Or Europe. It could be Europe,
Yeah, anywhere in
be.
Europe.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's construction. I mean, he doesn't qualify for construction anymore, unfortunately, because his strength went down. But mechanic and driver, he still can get back into.
Mm-hmm.
And even as a combat medic, I wonder what that would be. Or,
Yeah, I don't know if actually there's a big advantage to. I was thinking get out, but I don't know if there's a big advantage to that compared to just staying in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that there is.
No, so
all the white collar careers require education.
Right. I mean, he could be getting out and going to school.
Yeah.
At this point,
when the GI Bill.
Although when the next term when another attribute lowers, we'll have to. I don't know where he's gonna how bad off he'll be. He already. Let's see.
It's actually so far. I think you have a driving D8, range D8, tech D8, close combat D6, medical D8, and you're a combat medic, a mechanic, and a racer and a pilot.
Right, and quartermaster.
Specialties and a quartermaster.
Yeah, so he can't go into intelligence because he doesn't have that education. So, folks, doing education going to school is always important.
Oh man, if you hadn't lost that strength. Yeah, I know you want to keep that agility at really high, but paramilitary.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point, I guess he'll just maybe stay in the military. I don't know if there's a point they kick you out of the military or not. Doesn't look like it.
You can go into a life of crime.
Yeah. Let's go over.
You can still go back into the police force as a detective too.
That's true. You could do that. So maybe. Although now you're getting a bunch of skills that he. Actually, at that point, you could do persuasion and recon and.
Yeah, I guess that if you want to increase your skills or even improve, like you can range combat is in there too. So.
Yeah. Although he can do that, stay in the military too, right?
Yes. Yes, he could.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's.
A lot of choices, man.
Yeah, it's too many choices. It's too much stress, Carl. Too much stress. Okay, he's going to get out, and he will. He's going to get out and don't be a driver, or he'll get out and I guess be a mechanic. And so let's do that. So there's no entrances.
Yeah, no entry requirement. You can you can increase tech.
Right. Which is fine. So now his tech is going to go up D10, or actually D12, I guess, huh? Because I have 2 points put into it.
Well, you can put 2 in tech.
Yeah. So his tech will now be.
You can put 2 in tech, or that you can looks like you can put open up those other ones. Stamina, mobility, or driving. Or driving, you can increase too. Your driving's at D. You could put both of those at D10 if you wanted to. Tech and driving.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? We'll put tech and driving at D10.
Okay. And now we see if you get promoted within the company, I guess.
Right, and is still a D8 or is it a D10 I need to roll?
It's going to roll it. You're rolling a D10 now.
Okay, and I rolled a 3, so no.
No.
And now we're going to roll for a specialty.
Yep.
And he rolled a 5, which is Scrounger, which is probably going to be useful. If I spelled right.
Yeah, Scrounger. What does that do?
Okay. No promotion. And then we need to see how old he is and then if aging affects him.
Right.
So how old is a D6 and aging is a D8?
Yep. So you were 31 before.
Right. Okay. I rolled a 5, so now he's 36.
Wow.
And I rolled I rolled a 1, so something else is going to decrease.
Yeah.
What do I want to lower? Having a D in strength probably wouldn't be good.
No.
So I guess empathy would be the next one to lower. Well, I don't know what. So empathy,
It's medical.
Empathy is medical, and intelligence is the tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll lower empathy to a C.
Yeah.
Because he's getting old and grizzled.
But he still keeps in shape. I guess he still runs. Right.
Yeah. I mean, is it because, and ultimately, 36 isn't that old.
But, no, I know. But he could be getting jaded. You know, he hasn't been, he's been in this job he hasn't been promoted, pisses people off.
I rolled an 8, so war doesn't start again.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So we've got to do one more term of this. I think by this time, maybe he's going to have to go into crime.
I was looking for that. What that Scrounger is under. Close combat. It's probably under tech. Yeah. Wow, most of the specialty is under tech. That's interesting. No, it's not under tech. Where is Scrounger?
I think we'll have him be a burglar. He qualifies for burglar.
Okay.
Which isn't, although burglar looks pretty broad. It doesn't look like it's just breaking into houses. He could be a auto theft. He could be looking at these, like if he's doing car theft and stuff, it looks like burglar would work best under that.
6, man.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to say burglar, but not like breaking into houses, but more a car thief. You know. Is that okay?
Yeah. So you got Scrounger, so tech, the burglar.
Yeah.
Where is Scrounger?
He's gonna be like Jason Statham. So, and whatever that movie was where he drove everybody.
The driver? No, mechanic.
I don't know. One of those where who's but so he's not like breaking.
Oh, Scrounger's under survival.
Oh, okay. Huh. So his skills recon in here. So we'll bump recon up to D8, which isn't bad. And then let's see what his specialty is going to be. It's wrong dice. Oh, specialty is a 5. What is that? Electrician. That's not bad. It gives him a skill he didn't have before.
It looks like you get a lot of specialties during this process.
Yeah.
Because usually I think you start out with 2. In the archetype, you start up with like 2 specialties. So,
yeah, I've got a whole buttload of different specialties.
Electrician is under tech, +1 to roles with wiring, soldering, disabling, and repairing electrical devices.
Yeah, so that's a good one to have.
Scrounger's under survival, so I don't know how that will work. Because you've never opened survival, right? So
no, do you have to have survival to have? Well, I guess you don't have to have that though, do you?
Well, you just basically you'd roll whatever that is under, probably intelligence.
I don't know.
Survival's under intelligence, so you just roll your D8 roll, but you get a D10 or whatever. You're a B intelligence.
Yeah, so B intelligence.
If you're scrounging for stuff, then you just bump that. You just wouldn't get the skill dice. You just get the attribute dice. but it'd be bumped up in that context.
So it's not horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, recon's gonna be the same way probably because recon's probably under intelligence too.
Yeah.
Well, I do have the recon skill though. So.
So you open
Oh, well,
recon?
wait a minute. Wait. So what's that? Yeah, I'm gonna bump recon up two times. Put both points into recon.
Okay.
So it'll be a D8.
And you got electrician.
I got electrician for the specialty.
Okay.
And then we need to roll promotion.
8. Yeah.
What's his highest thing? It's driving and tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll roll. We're gonna say it's tech. Is what we're rolling under. Oh, I rolled a 4. So, but do I get +2 or more than that? Oh, was that? Oh no, because only my first year in this. So yeah, so he doesn't get promoted. He's not a good car thief apparently.
Yeah.
So now we need to see how old he gets, and if he loses any attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the D6 is a 2, so only 2 years in this, which is good. He's 38.
Yep.
Years old. Whoops, it's a D, not J. And then I rolled a 8 on the D8, so he does not lose any points, which is good.
Yep.
Now we need to roll. He wasn't promoted, but we need to roll. See if war starts.
Yeah, 5 or less. Roll war starts.
Yeah, so hopefully I roll 5 or less. I rolled an 8 again. That was horrible.
Give me like a 40-year-old criminal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he hadn't been busted yet, or I don't know. Is there a roll to see if he gets busted?
I feel like I'd only roll if you got a 1 on your promotion roll, because that's like a
here it is.
failure.
If war does not break out. Oh wait.
No, that's only if you're a prisoner.
No, I don't think so. It says after a career of crime, if war does not break out, roll D6. On odd result, you must spend the next term in prison.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's see if it's odd. 2. Yay, he's not in prison.
Not in prison. That's kind of that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, so the next one he'd be stuck in prison, and then potentially.
Yep. Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it could happen again if war doesn't break out.
Right.
But now, now war's going to break out on a 6 or less.
Right. So sooner or later, I'll roll it. The question is, do I need to try to open survival or not? Well, I guess not. You said Scrouch are still going to account for when he's doing Scrouch.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to open survival, you could just retire as a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. No,
what else has survival?
I don't know. Is that? Well, you know what? Yeah, let's maybe that's what he'll do. He'll retire as a farmer. Let's do that. Because that'll give him some other skills that'll be useful anyway. So his 7th career.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I can't wait to hear read the short story about this guy.
Right.
Because actually, after all we do all this stuff, then we still got to choose the moral code, long-term goals, stuff like that. And you can decide it. Maybe was he in Europe and then he bought some with the burglaring money? He bought some land in Europe.
Yeah, well, he definitely stayed in Europe because he would have married a local or something who probably died when the war broke out. But yeah,
that's interesting. Okay,
so let's do that. He made enough money in car theft to be able to get this small farm, right?
Yeah,
that's how he did that.
So farmer. So you're gonna open survival.
Yeah, so open survival. Put 2 points into that.
So D8 in survival. Okay.
So yeah. How do languages work in this? Is that a skill? Should I be trying to put points in Polish? Is that something I've been missing?
I think it's I think
he's been over there.
I think it's pretty open. Yeah, it's pretty open, right? So to me, I think.
He's been in Poland since whenever he took that first military career. So he's been in Poland
Europe.
since
you could say Germany, Poland,
wherever. Yeah, but since he was 24, and he's so for the last effectively almost 20 years, he's been over there. So I think it's fair to say he's picked up some of the local languages.
Yeah, I feel like when I was looking, it basically said whatever themes of languages. All characters in the game know their native language. All PCs seem to know a little English, no matter what nationality. It says additional languages can be learned as specialties. But I mean, I think
I mean, I don't mind trading one of my specialties for language, but I mean, he would at least have passing knowledge of
But I
whatever
think,
local.
I mean, I feel it's probably whatever seems logical to the.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be over there for 20 years or whatever without speaking some of the, especially
if he's in Poland, then Polish or German. Probably more likely Germany.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's still Cold War, but
right. And especially if it's the friggin' he's been a criminal over there. He's had to speak some.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what specialty he gets as a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
3. Fisher. Huh.
Fisher.
I don't know what the fishing is like in Poland, but apparently he used to fish.
I mean, remember, it's a survival game, so all these things are.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, maybe fishing something he used to his dad, and
plus modifier or survival role for fishing. So
yeah,
right. So you have a D10. Basically, when you're fishing for food, it's a D10. I mean, remember, at least water and food is kept track of. And quartermaster is under survival too. So going back to
Okay, cool.
And quartermaster +1 to survival for making camp and establishing a home base. You have scrounger, and you have so that's pretty good.
No, that's cool. Okay, so let's roll promotion next. He's got a couple things at D10. He rolled a 6, so he gets promoted. He's a good farmer.
Yeah.
So he gets promoted as. So now he's a.
Maybe that turns
better
into
farmer.
mustering out benefits.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But now we need to roll to see how long he's been a farmer and whether he gets loses his stat or not. Yeah. Okay, 2. So now he's 40.
That's not bad.
No, yeah. But I haven't looked at the D8 yet. Oh, he rolled a 4 on the D8.
Yeah.
So he's going to lose. He's got to lower something.
Yeah. Maybe that agility finally goes down to a B.
Yeah, I think that probably makes the most sense, to be honest.
So right now he has strength C, agility B, intelligence B, and empathy C. Right?
Yeah.
That's still good. That's 8, 10, 10, 8. I mean.
Yeah, I think that's better than lowering something else to a D for the intelligence.
Yep.
Yeah. So now we need to see if war starts. Jeez,
right.
It better. Let me roll the other D8. I got 2 D8s sitting here. I rolled an 8 again. Jeez.
Well, so war for sure is going to start after this term.
Is it?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
well, not really. I mean, I could roll a 8. I have to roll 7 or lower, right? I've been rolling 8s. Okay, so his 8th career. I want to say he'd keep being a farmer. I don't know why he would settle in, be happy as a farmer, So what can I put those 2 points in? Just survival or anything under survival?
It looks like survival and then stamina, mobility, or driving.
Stamina and mobility. What's mobility do?
Mobility is like dodging.
Maybe I should put a point in stamina and mobility.
So stamina is your physical toughness, endurance are tested for stamina. So resisting disease, effects of cold, clinging to life during a lethal injury. Mobility. When you jump, climb, run fast, or perform any action that requires speed or motor control. Mobility. Also used for throwing weapons. And has uses in combat, which is dodge.
Right.
And diving for cover.
Let's increase both those by 1.
Okay.
Probably should increase stamina by 2, to be honest. But so stamina and mobility will both go to D6.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I'm rolling 2d6 when I do a test for, or those or wait.
The stamina is under.
Sounds like it'd be a strength. Mobility be agility.
Mobility is agility.
Yeah.
The stamina is under strength. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd roll 2d6 for that. Or no, wait, it's C.
A D8, a D, and a D6.
D and D6. Okay.
And mobility would be a D8 and a D6 too. No, your mobility it's a D10. So
Still D10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost makes you wonder if I should bump the just do stamina to a D8. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do stamina to a D8. 2 points in stamina.
Okay.
And then roll for another specialty.
Yep.
Rolled a 1 this time. Cook. That's not a bad thing. And now we need to roll to see if he gets promoted.
Yeah.
Now he gets the +1, right? Because he's been a farmer 2 times. But he rolled a 4, so he doesn't get promoted.
Mm-hmm.
See how old he gets. 3. So now he's 43.
43.
And we need to roll. Oh, I rolled a 2. So he does have to lower something.
Yeah.
Jeez. I think at this point we're going to lower his I guess we'll lower his intelligence to a C.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what else because I don't know that I really want to make his strength a D.
C is still a D8, right? So
Yeah. Oh well. Kind of hate to do that, but I don't think I have a big choice. Yeah, so I'm going to lower his intelligence to C. And we're going to see if he a war breaks out. I rolled a 7 this time.
yay.
Yep. So war breaks out. So now we have to do a wartime career, right?
Yeah. So now we go to the at war stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Oops. Why did my computer lock out?
So at war, once World War III breaks out, everyone's trying to stay up safe. You increase 2 skills of your choice by 1 step.
Okay.
And you get 1 more specialty. So 2 skills of your choice.
Okay, so I guess I need to look at a overall skill list, don't I?
Yeah. So, and I got to figure out what your skills are. What your skills are. I was keeping a running check. But
Yeah, and he'll start with a farmer equipment.
yeah, I'll start with
So
the farmer equipment.
He'll have any civilian firearm, D3 reloads, a pickup truck, a basic toolkit, and 2d6 rations of food. That's not too bad.
Oh, that's really good. And a pickup truck.
Yeah.
So conceivably, your group can have 2 vehicles.
Right.
So.
Well, there ought to be a skill list in here. I'm sure there is.
Probably let's see, the skill list. Go to page, because there's only 12 skills, so you can even go to page 48, and it has the skills in alphabetical order.
Okay. No, I see. Special. Okay. So what am I picking? 2 skills and
you increase 2 skills of your choice by 1 step. So you have like a good number of skills, right?
Yeah. So I don't necessarily need to. Yeah. So let's see what we got. We have stamina.
You have a lot of skills at D8.
Right. Pretty much.
Tech and driving are D10. You don't lose the skills, right? And then medic is at D8 still.
Yeah.
Then you have ranged at D8 and close combat at D6. So maybe that might be okay to ranged and close combat to increase, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, I guess we'll do that. We'll do well, or do I want to increase what's my survival at? D8.
D8.
But that's intelligence, so I'm rolling 2 D8s. Wonder if I
You
should
have a lot of
increase.
specialties. You have a lot of specialties under survival, so that's going to bump up a lot of things to D10.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So let's bump ranged and close combat each up one.
So range goes to D10 and close combat goes to D6. No, D8. That's good. So
He'll be at least semi-competent there.
Yeah, well, very competent at shooting.
So range D10, close combat to D8. Okay, and then what's the next thing I do? Nope, sorry.
Then you roll another specialty.
I roll one?
Yeah, you roll, but I mean, you have racer, quartermaster, and there's a chance that you might roll something you already have, so you can choose. So, because you're going to roll on the last column, other, it looks like, right?
Oh, okay.
Or other or blue, or is farmer blue collar?
Yeah, farmer's blue collar.
They're going to roll in that second column: brawler, rider, runner, quartermaster. Gun.
Okay, what page are we on?
Page 39.
Okay, let me get there. Hold on. Oh, I see. I see. At war. There it is. I see. Yeah, I see. Any 2 skills choice by 1 step. Roll D6 on the table for a specialty. Okay. Yeah. So let's see what we got. Oh, I rolled a 1, which is brawler. I didn't have that before, so it's okay, I guess.
That's good. So that increase, if you're in this fighting, you're now effectively a D10.
Okay, well that's good. That worked out.
Yeah.
And then the draft.
Basic. Yeah, it says that the final term, and you're a civilian. I mean, you would be beyond draft age in any case. And you said you settled down in Europe, so they probably would not draft you. That doesn't make sense based on your career, to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we would probably just start. Well, yeah. We'll spend a civilian, and your character is not the local.
Yeah.
Of the game.
Not a local of the country where your game is set. So if you said you had shared, you basically have been in Europe this whole time. So you would be if you've been in Europe for 20 years, you're going to be a local.
Well, yeah, he would be because he's been a legal citizen. We only rolled 2 each time, right? So he's 43.
He's 43 right now. So
yeah. When did he start as a farmer? Oh, there he is. So for the last 5 years, he's lived in that country. Yeah. So he's basically an expat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fine. I mean, I'm okay not being drafted. He could just meet up with
like you said, if you were a local farm, then either your farm was overrun, you had shared some ideas that you had.
Right. Yeah.
Happen.
Okay. Yeah. So let's so it probably makes sense to stop there, right? So, or at least for this, yeah.
And then I think there's some, right? So then you would determine your hit and stress capacities, your unit morale, your moral code, your big dream. If we had other players, your buddy, and then how you met each other, and then your appearance. So then you choose a name and a nickname. You've already gotten your gear. And in addition to your gear, you get D6 more rations of water, D6 rounds of ammo for currency, and D6 rations of food.
Okay.
And then you pick group gear together and possibly a vehicle, and then D6 to determine your starting radiation.
So probably what we want to do is go through step 13 and stop. And then when there are other players, then choose the buddy, choose how we mate. I mean, we could.
Yeah. Because we did all the career stuff and hit and stress. What is that? It's calculated somehow.
Yeah, we don't necessarily.
So hit capacity is the sum of your size and strength. Is strength and agility divided by 4, rounding fractions up. So
okay. So it's C plus B.
Yeah.
Divided by 4.
That's 18 divided by 4, so it's a 4 point something, 4.5, so it's a 5.
Okay, so So hit capacity is 5.
Yep. And your stress capacity is the other 2 divided by 4, rounding up. So
So
that's
they're
also
both
18, right?
C's.
Yeah. Oh, they're both C's, so that's 4.
Okay. So that's the stress is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then next we need to do moral code.
Yep.
Choose your big dream. So where do we need to go in the book for those?
Well, it's kind of, so they have examples on page 17, but you could also look at the various archetypes, and they have like a two or three examples under each archetype. Right. So like if you feel like you're an expat farmer, so like the civilian on page 22 might have some good ones for you. But you're also in the military, so you can look around. You're also a mechanic. The mechanic has some good ones.
Let's see. Civilian.
On page 22.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think he's probably disgruntled.
The examples they have.
The question is, how cynical should he be?
Because that's up to you, man.
Because it's either so, folks, under mechanic, some of the moral codes they have are anything or anyone can be fixed, never lose hope. So that'd be a hopeful character.
Right.
Or we have machines can be trusted, people can't. So that would be which arguably would go better with what I've done. The problem is how cynical character is going to play into the game. That might be a kind of a downer for the other players. I don't know. I'm going to tentatively say machines can be trusted, people can't. But I'm going to also give the out that when we have our session 0 with everybody else, if people want to have a more upbeat, positive group, then I'll switch it to anything can be fixed. Because I don't want to be the person dragging.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. What I mean? See what the vibe of the group would be.
Right.
And are we going to be hopeful? Like I think with the pre-gens, I tried to make them as hopeful as possible. The ones that I put up here, that maybe the spook is a less. Well, he's not even. He's driven, I would say, as opposed to cynical, right? So the moral code for the German-born spook that I have is anything for your country, anything, right? So I think for the mechanic, I picked probably the one that the anything can be fixed, never lose hope.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then for even the gunner, he's pretty much focused on his friends. The team relies on me and my rate of fire. I give my life for my friends, right? So more positive, I'd say, more positive. The group, right? So.
Yeah, but we'll see what the group wants to do. So I'll depending on the other players, we'll pick one of those two.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling with this backstory, the machines can be trusted, people can't, makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I could definitely spin it and play it as, never lose hope, anything could be fixed.
Yeah. And then your big dream.
Yeah, that's the harder one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think his big dream is going to be. I kind of like get the hell away from these battlefields, find a safe haven wherever it may be. I don't know though, because if we're going to say his wife and family were killed in the war, he may just be bitter. So it may be more. Although, so if we did the get revenge against military forces who wrought this on mankind, maybe we need to change that to so how's it defined big dream? That's a long-term goal.
Yep. So big dream, we'll see. Your immediate goal of the game is to live another day, but in the long run, merely surviving is not enough. You also have a motivation of your own, something you dream that will one day come to pass. During play, you gain extra XP if you take concrete action to realize your big dream. And the moral code is it helps if you choose to follow your moral code, it can give a +1 modifier to a skill in a particular situation, and you gain XP for that. If you betray your moral code, you can suffer stress.
Gotcha. So I think for the big dream, of course,
That's how they
this will,
fit in mechanically. Right?
yeah. I think for the big dream, and this will require GM buy-in, but I think we'll do the outlaw Josie Wales thing. If you want to come up with a whatever unit or group that maybe came in and looted the farm after the war started, and that's who killed the family.
Yeah.
So whatever.
You'd rather them be Warsaw Pact versus NATO, right?
It doesn't matter, actually, because what I'm thinking is some kind of unit that decided to all of a sudden, become local warlords.
Well, there's
right?
definitely many examples of units that have.
Yeah. So just pick one, pick whatever, and that's who his big dream is to get revenge against them for, coming in and killing his family, right? So like your Josie Wales with the red legs, right? That kind of thing. Not necessarily. So it wouldn't be necessarily everybody in that military, everybody that nationality, but that unit, right? So he's looking for the.
So that's good. That's actually, I can already think of like how, what kind of hooks I would give to the players and how your character would be driven to follow those leads. Like you've heard of this group, and maybe you don't know the group. You only know maybe
you saw
know them
patch,
if you saw
right?
them, right? You know them if you saw them, right?
Yeah, right. Well, maybe you saw their unit patch or whatever, something like that, right? Yeah,
right. Yeah, but then if you hear like they're warlords that set themselves up, then you'd want to investigate,
right,
to see if these were the guys.
Yeah, exactly. So he's looking, in Conan terms, he's looking for the symbol, the two serpents facing each other, right? But he's looking for that, whatever unit it is. He's looking for the first cav unit that killed his family or whoever it was.
Yeah.
Because and I don't care what nationality it is. It might be more interesting if it's. I mean, obviously, I would assume
it
once
could
the
give
group,
if they for example, if the unit did the stuff, got all their money and went home, you would want to track them down. That could be
that'd be a good reason. Yeah, and I'm sure some people are going to want to go back to the States. So if it's a unit that went back to the States, I mean, it could even be, it could be a SF unit, it could be whatever, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah. So that'll give you something to work up as a GM. Mm-hmm. But I think the rest of we could do appearance. I think we wait to do your buddy and how you met,
right?
Till there's the rest of the group. Yeah. And gear, maybe we wait. I mean, we can just have him start with farmer gear, but it's not that big of a deal.
Well, he would get all that farmer gear, but there is unit gear that you get too.
Yeah, so we'll do that as a group, definitely. I'm never good with names, so I'll just have to think of a name. And appearance, he's gonna be a gross old farmer dude. He'll be like Robert De Niro, right? That's what he's gonna look like Robert De Niro and Ronin, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. So that's kind of what we're going for.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you I'll open up a character sheet for you in the Roll20 when we, so you could put this guy in at your leisure.
Yep, that sounds good. Yep, I've got all the stuff here, and you've got notes in case I screwed something up.
Yeah. So that's it. Life path creation. It took a little longer than we anticipated, but hey.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah, maybe we'll split it up 1 and 2. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's a couple places. I'll try to clean this up before I send it to you, since you're not used to editing.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty good. So I guess we'll conclude. So what are your thoughts, Jason? I kind of went to you because you had commented, "Hey, that sounds like this game," and I really liked it when I think I talked about Warhammer Fantasy character creation. So I said, "Hey, well, maybe I'll ask Jason if he wants to. Let's do this life path for this new game that's coming out." So that was my motivation to ask you to help me out with this and check it out.
Right. Well, I've always liked this kind of creation, whether it's Traveler, the original Twilight 2000 had this kind of thing. Dark Conspiracy had this kind of thing. Mutant Chronicles, which we've done recently.
Right.
Warhammer Fantasy does, although in the original Warhammer Fantasy it was kind of closer to this. You were really nailed down. So when you go back to the original editions of Warhammer Fantasy, like you could only get to certain careers from certain careers.
Right.
And if you did it like randomly, like you'll never get a cool career. You know what I mean? You're like, you could very easily be stuck.
True. Yeah, I think
places.
that they've made that better in the more recent edition, in that it just costs XP, and how the story and GM permission on how the story goes, it fits logically, right? So
yeah, I kind of think between this and Mutant Chronicles, I think I like Mutant Chronicles a little better because you have a little more. I don't mind doing totally random; that doesn't bother me. But I think Mutant Chronicles gives a little more option where you could stay totally random, but it gives you a little more control throughout the process. Where here, well, I don't know. There's you didn't get to choose your specialty, but you still had choices to make in here. Right, so I think I think that's fine.
The only thing I can see, much like Traveler, it depends on the luck of the role, whether you bust out of your career or, like in this case, the war starts. It just depends. Like in your case, you basically went to the end. You had like 8 careers effectively.
Yeah, so I guess that would be my.
You had like 8 terms, and that can happen. I mean,
yeah, I wonder if there's not. So maybe that would be my only comment, and maybe it's an option somewhere in the rules. Like, so I haven't really looked.
It might be something like a referee can say, "Well, we're only going to have up to 4 turns or something."
Well, or maybe even the character can choose when to like in Traveler, where you can choose whether to keep going or not, right?
Yeah, so the random element here is like when the war starts, right?
Right, but so that might be my only thing, is maybe give the player a choice to end it if they wanted to play a younger. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I probably would have. I'm happy with what happened, and he's a more interesting character since we did. I think
we wanted to make it rules as raw. We want to go as raw as possible.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I probably would have given a choice to stop when I wanted to. He probably would have stopped after his career as a combat medic. I probably would have wanted the war to start then, when he was 27 and he'd done his combat medic career. You know what I mean? But it's cool. I'm not necessarily complaining, because I think it's interesting, the story of this guy. And definitely you can bring up, you've got a bunch of hooks there as a GM now, not just with his family getting killed, but the fact that he spent time as a few years as a car thief.
Right. So
in this country,
he might know some of the criminal elements. I mean, if he was an expat in, like I say, if he was stationed in Germany, but he really, fell in love with a Polish woman, then he truly was an expat, and then unfortunately he's caught on the wrong side when shit went down.
Yeah, so, definitely, and that's why
he might know some. I mean, and definitely, and for sure, there are criminal elements that do a lot of black marketing and stealing the Communist Party leaders' cars and stuff like that.
Right. Oh yeah,
in Poland, right? So I could totally work it in.
Yeah, and it'll be the interesting thing is going to be when the criminals recognize him, and he hasn't told the rest of the party. Oh yeah, by the way, for a while because when they ask, obviously it's, I got out of the military and I was settled down as a farmer. He's not going to volunteer that he was a criminal, right? So when that comes out,
it could be like it could be one of those like saving the party happenstance when you're ambushed or cornered by a criminal element, and you're like, oh hey, so
it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it has some really neat hooks and things that happen, and that's the fun of the randomness, I think, going through the character creation.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of randomness in this, because that gives you something to riff off of.
I definitely can see also that, much like Traveler, you're not going to have a balanced party of characters, because some are going to have mustered out early, some are going to be in the middle, some are like this character in Jason's case went all 8 careers, right, that you go to. So and just like in Traveler, you'll have like the Belter who had to muster out because he was injured, versus the admiral in the Navy in a party. So
yeah, definitely. So cool.